What was the first book of Malcolm Gladwell you read?
Outliers.
Outliers, the first one. Yeah.
You said you read that one?
Yeah, I read that one a long time
and
ago.
you read this Blink?
And I read Blink too, yeah, a long time ago too.
You read any of it? You said you got some on Audible, but you read any of his titles already?
I have. I read Outliers too, the 10,000 Hours like y'all talked about. But I'm still trying to pull it up. See.
I read The Tipping Point. That was the other one.
I ain't read that one. What's a book that you read that you would say changed your life? I'm sure a lot of them have, but like, what's the one that stick out in your mind?
The Celestine Prophecy and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari were two distinct ones. This is interesting. Kevin Gates prompted me to read The Celestine Prophecy, like around the time we met. Like he was, that was something that we kind of shared, like books that we had read recently. And I think Pat Walker Reese hit me The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I think I read those like back to back. The Power Habit was a good one for me that was kind of transformative a little bit. And there's a East Nashville rapper named Thomas that put me on this book called Outwitting the Devil.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I gotta thank him for that and for nudging me in a direction to have a great 2025. He was on some whole ass shit at the end of 2024. And
pretty weird.
It was cool. It worked well for me.
That was weird.
But Outwitting the Devil. And it was something else. The Power of Regret that prompted me to make the Regretfully project.
Okay.
And that was the first book that I read on the 75 Hard Challenge. Probably read about 7 of them. So that was.
Book that I know changed my life, The 4 Agreements.
Yeah.
I read that at a time, probably at that point, my lowest point in my life, when I was going through a custody battle. And I'd never been that angry and that, like, I was seeing red. I was homicidal. I was just mad at the world. And I read that book. I forgot who suggested it to me, but it hit me. And one of the agreements is don't take anything personal. And I needed that. I really needed that. Just knowing what people say about you or think about you, like it ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? It's that's all on them. And I took that to heart, and it not only changed my life, it saved my life because I was about to crash out. If it wasn't for, my dad and sometimes call and shoot, like, you know what I mean? Luckily he just allowed me to call him and vent to him before I go do something stupid. I appreciate that shit too, because I was about to do a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, we had some long talks during that time period. When you was asking me which Malcolm Gladwell books I read David and Goliath, Blink, and The Tipping Point, and Outliers, of course. So this one, Talking to Strangers.
It's a terrible gift.
No, it's a great gift. It's a great gift because that's the other thing too that I was about to say. When you talk about books that change your life, at least for me, sometimes, like if I'm feeling down or I'm at a low point, I'll go back and read a book that I may have started at a different place in my life where it was a low point, because inevitably there are things that I'll get from that book that I'll get now that I wouldn't have gotten then because I didn't go through that experience. And I think, like, especially with the 4 Agreements, when you talk about not taking things personally, when you start reframing things like, what people are dealing with before you interact with them and what they may bring into your space, then you realize, you bring a lot into it too. And so you try to work on what you can control. So to your question of what's your book that changed your life, have you reread any of those books since then? And did you get something different from it?
I haven't reread any book yet. I got books I pick up and just look through every once in a while, but I haven't reread a book. One book I am about to reread, it's another book that changed my life. It's this book called She Comes First, and it's about cunnilingus. And,
Ian Kerker?
Man, is that it? You read the book too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it taught me how to eat pussy better.
Nasty.
Nah, for real. It taught me how to eat. Y'all need to read that book. It taught you how to eat pussy. And
they make you read that when your fraternity.
Nah.
That's the first step.
But for real, the thing is that you learn, like, the thing is that, I mean, that's a great book, and I appreciate you bringing it up because if you think about sex education, most people don't get sex education in a formal way other than porn. And porn is not formal and it's not educational, right? It's to serve a certain purpose to get you to look up or be attracted to certain things that are outside the realm of reality. And so most, content like that is not how a real natural ebb and flow will work between humans that are not acting in front of a room of people. So you learn more about how you can connect with somebody. You learn about the anatomy. I mean, it's a really good
You
book.
learn how to take your time eating pussy. That's what you learn, bro. Like you like that book.
Hey, so Los, what books changed your life?
I'm gonna get y'all that book. That's
deep
gonna be
on
my
that.
gift.
Man, so right now, I'm reading The Jewish Phenomenon. It's like the 7 keys to enduring wealth of a people. I think it's changing my life. Like right now, just based on like where I am financially, just trying to where I'm trying to get to. I ain't saying these people with this book gon' automatically make me richer. I think it's just the principles and the ideology behind like certain stuff that, can just unlock and tap into, certain thoughts and patterns for yourself.
What's 2 things that you done read so far that you feel have impacted you that you want to do something about?
As far as in the book,
It's
or
like
just
what
in,
you've learned so far, like this makes you be like, that's an interesting concept.
one thing we all know, education.
Mhm.
Education is like, it can literally open up a door and you know what I'm saying, as long as you got that piece of paper, as long as somebody know that you got education in whatever field that you do, you know what I'm saying, it may not be a degree, it might be you just really good and knowledgeable and being a mechanic, and you know what I'm saying, you can fix the car without even looking at the car, you know how to hear it. So I think it's just, the knowledge aspect, and then just the way that they like, how they treat their people. Like they like ain't nobody lesser than, you know what I'm saying? I feel like and I may not know that because I ain't in the community, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think certain communities that thrive like that, like you see it around the world where like people may not have like certain things that we may have here in America, or the luxury items, but like they got community, they got people, and they living some of their best lives on them islands, and then they building some of the greatest inventions that you come over there and be like, man, how you make this, how you do this, and you try and do it and you can't duplicate it, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think there's some of the stuff that I'm kind of, just opening my conscience up to. I'm really, when it comes to books, man, I got like a bookcase full of books. Like I buy books and I read like the first chapter or two, and then I be like, okay, I know what this about, and then I go on to the next book. So I'm really, I gotta go back in and dive into some books. So like some of the books that changed, I think my perspective was like the Power book. You know what I'm saying?
48 Laws of Power.
Mhm.
Yeah, that shit. That's an evil book.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
very
very
evil
evil
book.
Not evil.
It's been used for evil.
Is it? Now people use it for, I mean,
It's just knowledge.
Yeah,
Anybody with
yeah,
knowledge
yeah.
can use it for good or evil.
Using how to manipulate people.
It's
I mean,
this-
I
or it's
read the book. I like the book.
Or you can say that it's not manipulating, but it's understanding how people interact with one another.
Yeah,
Good book.
it's a
I
good
Great
book.
book.
Yeah.
The first book I read was like when I got woke. I learned it from Pimp C. Pimp C got a song on the Underground King album.
Pale White Horse.
Behold the Pale White Horse.
I got that book
I
too.
read that
Yeah.
book, and that I mean, now I'm just conspiracy theorist. That and 48 Laws of Power, and I
Yep,
that was my
same.
first. I was heavy. I was heavy in this shit, but and then she comes first, and then now I'm in full circle. Like I'm telling you, I'm gonna get y'all that book. No, for real.
Say, listen, I'm gonna bring some books that I, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
got
that
some
was
shit.
I missed part of the conversation, but I think that was a part of the premise of like sharing from, like like you said, you haven't reread a book before.
Mhm.
I probably got 100 books at my house. Most of them I read, but after I read them, they just sit there collecting dust. When I was doing the 75 hard, one of my partners had just finished doing it. I was unaware of this. And he was like, man, just take whatever off my bookshelf. He gave me the Dick Gregory book, Nigger. He gave me, damn, it was one other book that I read during the challenge. But it was like several books. And when I thought about it, I'm like, we not probably intentionally too much gonna reread. I read the Four Agreements a few times because it's a
So
quicker
quick
read. Yeah, it's a
read.
shorter
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
And I returned to some of those books that I, like you said, that I thought were pivotal because that was like 2013 when a couple of those books really like shifted, changed my mind frame. And like you said, I'm a different person in 2025 than I was, in my late 20s, getting introduced to that. But when bro passed those books along to me, I've been on the same thing. Like as soon as I finish a book, I try to find somebody to give it to.
That's what I need to do. You been in my house. I got a shit ton of
I
books.
still got one of your books now, the vegan workout book.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah. So I got a bunch of books, and I do need to start passing them out and reading some of them here because I just got them. I collect. I think it's nice to walk into somebody's house to see books instead of a bunch of.
Porn.
Like that, and shoes and shit. If you see porn walking somebody's house, that's a wild
nigga.
Well, you read porn books though,
man. No, that's not a porn book.
Oh, it's education.
It's education.
Yeah, it's definitely not erotica. It's definitely not erotica.
Cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus. When you say you do cunnilingus, that's better than eating pussy. Like it's cunnilingus.
What's the difference?
It's artful. Like it's romantic. It's passion. It's I eat pussy.
People start going into the exercise. You getting too much weight without reading the book.
You gotta close your eyes when you do it. That's make it.
Sometimes.
It's rude if you don't.
Hey, sometimes you gotta close your eyes when you get into it.
No, you gotta see what's going on, man. You gotta see what's going on.
You gotta see what's going on.
Only when wet. Only when wet.
Oh, what is going on?
That's what they want, man. That's what they want. They said
It's
loosen up.
provocative, huh?
Gets the people going.
Nah, even
I don't know what it
good.
means.
You should definitely want to.
Well, did you say anything beside the Jewish book?
Nah.
Nah, I stepped out. So
Nah. Yeah, we was talking about the Behold the Pale White Horse, the 48 Laws of Power.
The Pimp C, you said kind of hipped you out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I read Pimp C's biography by Julia Beverly, and that was a really good read.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was a fan of Pimp C since, a kid.
Yeah.
But it was a well-written biography. I mean, I respect her as a journalist, from my days at Ozone. But I bought like 50 copies of the book when she dropped it. And around the holidays that time, and gave one out to anybody that I knew that was even vaguely hip or, in tune with the UGK and Pimp C legacy. Paying it forward, Ozone always showed me love, and that being one of my favorite artists. But it was a really good read. It was dope to get some of them backstories and insight to the person, and some of them like things you may have heard or folklore. Because he used to spend a lot of time in Nashville, so I know a lot of people that knew him. That was part of the allure of music, because I felt like it was something like real about it. The people that I knew like streetwise that associated with him let me know that he wasn't just rapping. You know what I'm saying? Even his rap hustle journey was out there a little bit, and even how he hit the ground running when he got out, because he was just a wild nigga. But the book like made so much sense of like his musical background. I like biographies the same way I like documentaries. I like things that's rooted in like a real story.
Yeah.
And something you can go back and fact
PMC
check
book was
against.
good. I read a Scarface. Scarface book was really good.
Like Brad
Heavy,
Jordan's
yes,
Scarface?
Yes, heavy, super heavy.
I gotta check that
made me
out.
respect him a whole lot more than I already did. As a person, not just an artist. Him, the Nipsey Hussle book. I read that. I listened to that. That was really good.
Did he narrate it?
Nah, it was.
It was after he passed.
Yeah, it was after he
Post,
passed. Yeah, it was really good. Richard Pryor, his biography was amazing. He had a wild life. He had a wild upbringing, and like I said, Nigger, the Dick Gregory autobiography.
That was probably the last thing I read cover to cover was Nigger.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I actually got that book autographed. I met Dick Gregory, and he signed it for me. That was one of them.
That's when he came to East Nashville?
That's when he came. We was at Carol Ann's at like a meet and greet dinner type situation, and I got to meet him, and it was my mom, my dad, and Dick Gregory. Got a picture with him and everything.
Yeah, the last time he came to Nashville,
he was at
Basement East.
Yeah,
I got a book that I had, like his joke book, one of his comic books, and I got him to autograph it too.
That's what's up.
That was real cool.
Dick Gregory was that was probably my favorite. Him and Pimp C, like, and Dr. Sabi, like 3 of my favorite people. You know what I mean? It kind of helped shift and shape, you know what I mean, my personality a little bit. Them 3 right there.
So yeah, that's an interesting mashup. Makes sense. Yeah, what was nah, I wouldn't say worst book. That's difficult. Worst book, first thing y'all remember like taking to in terms of reading. I was an avid reader when I was like young, and I drifted out. Like once I got to like middle school, I ain't like the shit they was trying to make me read.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of grew out of it. It wasn't until I got to a point I'm like back to reading what I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But I was reading everything with words on it when I was a kid. My favorite book in like elementary school was Sideways Stories from Ways High School. I just reread it with my daughter, and that book's stupid as fuck, and I can't understand why I liked it so much when I was like in elementary school. But she liked it too, though.
Yeah.
So I guess just as a kid, it's just
Man,
cool
my
stories.
favorite book. So we had a celebrated reader growing up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I was always, I didn't ever come in first place because it was just one girl. She was, I think she was Amish or Mormon or something. Like, they didn't have TV, so all she did was read.
Yeah.
And she read the Dr. Dolittle book, which was the biggest book in our library.
Got all the points.
Yeah. But
I came in second. I'm still hot about that.
but I think Hank the Cowardly Dog was my favorite like book series in elementary school. I read every single last one of those.
I was on Underpants. What's your boy?
Courage, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Underpants Kid. What was his name, man? One Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I think guess what created Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Scholastic.
Captain
Underpants. Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah.
Took a lot of my money.
I remember the Forrest Gump book.
They had a book?
The book came before the movie.
I never knew that.
Yeah. The movie is like most movies that come from books, it ain't the same exact story. The book is crazier than the movie, believe it or not. But it's kind of, intentionally like extreme and silly. They scaled it back to make the movie have some like realistic undertone or historical significance. The book was like almost like funnier, like comedic.
I have to check that out.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies was a book that I really enjoyed, and then watching the movie made it make more sense. But Lord of the Flies was a really good movie, a really good book. I mean,
I remember reading that in middle school too.
Yeah.
And I remember reading Fahrenheit 451, and then seeing the movie about it because the movie was like in the 90s, late 80s type, so it wasn't like new technology in the movie, but it was. The book talks about people burning books. Paper burns at 451 degrees Fahrenheit. And, talks about some of the things that's going on right now, misinformation, not being able to have appropriate records, things like that. And I remember reading that in Megs in middle school and like thinking about today, like I never would have thought like a concept of something that I read in middle school, like that was a fiction book, could have some application to real life implications today that we deal with.
Yeah, when I got to Megs, I stopped reading. Like I said,
you missed out.
I don't remember if they signed that book or not. It was, I think, 6th grade. They had us reading Great Expectations, and the book was like 500 something pages, and I probably got about page 3. So this shit over with. I ain't really like the teacher. I was just over it. And then, by the time we discovered like Cliff Notes and shit, that really led to me not reading anything. Like,
just get the worksheet done, do the work, get it turned in.
That's my one disconnect. I feel like school in a lot of ways, and that was even like an advanced school for gifted kids, was like you just figure out how to beat the system.
Right.
Even if the system is like challenging, I can say school from 5th to 12th grade, like I tested into a more advanced environment and I regressed because I just figured out how to navigate rather than trying to excel. It wasn't until I was playing sports and I had to make a certain grade to stay on the team that I tried at all. Past that, it was just trying to not go home and get in trouble. That was more of a challenge than anything that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned what I felt like was necessary or I want to learn, and I tuned the rest of that shit out. But that long-ass book they gave us in 6th grade was like, I lost my love for reading for a while at that point.
You ever read a book? I used to dig in my mama's boxes, and she had these romantic books. Y'all ever read them?
I got a book.
I never knew why she didn't want me to read those books.
If my mama watching right now,
she had a big box of these books. You go to Kmart, these little section, the books with the white dude on a horse with the long hair.
Have you read one since you're an adult?
No, I ain't read one since an adult, but I read it.
She comes first.
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure. There's the correlation.
I didn't realize. Like, damn, my mom was I mean, that's how she got out. She was that's what
mental.
She was.
Yeah,
it was a mental orgasms and
well,
shit.
that's what I was about to say about him
That's
not
what it
liking
was.
reading. Like for me, I've always enjoyed reading because at a certain point you kind of get lost in the story and you become not a character, but you are vicariously living through these characters that you're reading about. And so, I mean, I can understand that from your mom's perspective, but
You can understand.
I've never read one of those books.
Get lost in the reading. Like,
Yeah, get lost in the reading.
Taking you on an adventure.
Well, that's what she was on, the adventure. I
It was an erotic
I
one.
wish she had kept that from me even better.
She
Cause my
tried.
daddy, his books, the porn books, he kept them hidden under his
you
car
saw
seat.
him,
But you wasn't looking at the words.
You
Under his
looking
car
at the
seat.
words.
Nah,
You don't
nah.
read
I
nothing
mean, I had
under
to
the
read
car seat?
under the car seat. He had
Because
he
you
had to
looked
buy
at them.
Chevy.
You know exactly where they were.
Man, listen.
XXX. That's all
Listen,
you read.
that shit was it was called Black Foxes, and it was that's when the women had them pussy bushes. Them pussy bushes
Oh my goodness.
was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You be going muff
We
diving.
done went
that was
X-rated.
Yeah,
crazy.
muff
We
diving, yeah.
done pulled them out. Now that y'all know
Yeah. Nah,
this is him.
that's
He has arrived.
that's my daddy fault. He would
He
go in the
has
store. I said, I'll
arrived.
stay in the car. Get up under that, reach up under that seat. It be women, they up underwater, butt naked with that bush just floating in the.
Oh, that's
Man,
crazy.
Got rolling back in somehow,
what?
man.
Yeah. Porn came a long way though. It's gonna come a long way. We ain't gotta talk about it though. We ain't gonna talk about it. Fuck it.
You got it.
Go ahead.
watch
Give us
it.
this.
Everybody-
Y'all
Y'all
let
don't
it
watch.
out.
Y'all don't watch
I
porn.
don't know.
Let it out.
Go ahead, bro.
It's a safe space, bro.
Yeah, you in your own box right now.
I don't
Right.
watch it as much as I used to.
Show soapbox.
It's got
But when you do that, you would want to see the bushes.
I want to.
Like,
I don't
like how
type
you
in.
grew up.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, if
You gotta get back
it's
to your
there,
roots.
Yeah, I like it natural. Little fur burger, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Fur
Oh,
burger.
my
Yeah.
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fur Burger has been announced.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it at all.
This was supposed to be a
family
family show.
We
We started
started
with
the
the holidays. We got
bruh.
gifts in the corner.
I
and
ain't even
stuff.
got to go into the family shit. Like,
Well, this
that
is
is
before
family
the,
shit. That's how
um,
you start a family.
Yeah, that is how
That
you
is
start
how you
a
start a
family.
family.
Los.
She comes
technically,
we
first.
gonna
You
figure
eat
it
the
out,
pussy,
Los.
and then you.
oh man, I'm gonna lose
What you losing?
His sponsors.
all my
All the
sponsors,
sponsors
bro.
gonna be
Because
like
they gonna be talking about
Los.
bushes. They gonna ask me who is the guy that talks about bushes.
We might get a Bush Beer sponsorship.
There we go. That's what we're
Hey,
looking
bro,
for.
you
Or
gonna
hustlers.
you
Hustlers
gonna
can come
go-
up
you-
with sponsors.
you gonna
Hustlers
mess
like
my
the sex
sponsors
toys
up.
and shit. I like
I
sex
don't want no
toys.
sex toys as a sponsor, bro. They ain't paying. They want
Who?
you to tell you how the product is. I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that like on a
Turn this
side-
way and talk to y'all.
side
Oh,
quest.
Y'all asked me what book I like, and I told y'all.
Yeah.
I agree, it's a good book.
Yeah, open up the flow.
Yeah.
It's
Good,
lava.
bro. It's a safe space.
All right, man. We here. What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling? Feeling good?
I'm good.
How was the holidays?
It was different this year. I mean, it was
Different.
good, but it was just, holidays, getting to the,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
getting to that age where you're trying to get your kids to understand you don't want to do a gift.
Yeah.
And we ready to take a trip.
Yeah. Before I want to know how everybody holidays is, but before we bring our guests in, I want to clock in a little bit. Usually we talk about our wins and progress, our work in progress, stuff that we've been working on. What's something y'all done did over the break, over time for your body, your mind, your soul, or something that you said you was gonna stay on track with? And I'll go first because I know y'all probably don't remember anything y'all done said that y'all was gonna work on. But I know I definitely said self-care. And I done did acupuncture. I done did reflexology. I done did a massage. I done did, you know what I'm saying? Been going to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Self-care. Take
How
care of
you feel
yourself.
afterwards?
Most definitely. Acupuncture, I was zen, bro. Like, I felt like I was on a high for like 3 or 4 days.
You sure wasn't nothing on them needles?
Man, he did leave a needle in my head. Like, when I rose up, it was a needle stuck in me. I said, bro, you missed a spot. He was like, oh, sometimes it happens. Nah, man, it don't need to happen to me. So that was cool. The reflexology, they basically massaging your feet. It's like a glorified, like, almost like a pedicure, but like without them doing your nails. So they massaging your feet, rubbing your feet. They even kind of rub up on you. I wanted to give the lady a hug afterwards. It was so good.
You got aroused.
I was asleep, so maybe. No, I didn't.
It's illegal.
He's gonna talk you into just. How was y'all tell me something y'all worked on?
I said that I was gonna work on, I think, some rental property stuff. I definitely did that. So glad to be progressing with that. I put some stairs down myself. The guys that did my floors were gonna charge me an exorbitant amount of labor, so I decided I could just do it myself. So I knocked it out a couple days.
You called me, man. I would have came and helped you. I ain't had nothing to do.
I ain't think about it.
You know, call me, man. Yes, always hit me up. Get me out the house.
I had mentioned wanting to work on like intentional communication and like consistent communication, not letting things like lag or what's the word? Like just kind of, you know, leaving things open-ended or unsaid. And I think I have progressed there. I've been intentional about it. Spent like the better part of the weekend after the holiday went out of town with my mom. We went to like a Hawks game and kicked it, and went to the Rod Wave concert with some of my fam. So nieces and nephews like had a time of their life, and you know, like you said, the wins, the simple joys, like just seeing other people just enjoy like things that might be normal to me or things that I enjoy or do on my own time, but sharing them experiences with people and seeing it means even that much more to them. That was cool, and I can see the results. Like I was asking you, like the acupuncture, the reflexology work. I can see already in like the short term the effects of being intentional about communicating and stuff, like going out of my way to say the extra thing or say something, like make sure like there's an understanding in certain spaces. It's just get more done. It's like a productivity thing. So I've been on it.
So
I don't remember what I said, but
You said peace or something to that effect, because you were a few words when we had that conversation.
oh yeah, well that didn't.
You open today. Keep it going, bro.
I'm still working on the peace part. I'm still working on I'm trying to find some peace. One way I do that is straightening up my house, and like I was a minimalist about 6-7 years ago. I was practicing it heavily, and you know, I got kind of distracted from it, got into a relationship, and you know when a woman come in your life, she just ruins shit, and
Man, they ruin shit.
well,
She ain't make it better.
yeah, I mean,
it's supposed to help.
Not in the space where you live in there. They just bring shit with them. There's a lot of shit they bring with them, and I got out of my minimalist, and now I'm back into I'm taking back my.
Are you going
peace.
back to? So you synthesizing through some stuff,
I'm going
filtering
back.
through some stuff.
I'm throwing shit away, decluttering, just getting
Okay.
shit out of my life, and
What's
you know, that's the beginning of
what's
my
the Japanese
peace
lady name?
journey.
For the feng shui, it don't spark joy.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing. And actually, I had my yoga event last week. You
How was
feel me?
that?
That was amazing. It was good. We stretched.
We gonna be doing some yoga on the pod soon.
We gonna do some yoga. We gonna do some. We got Pilates coming up soon. So that's what we working on. So.
Man, last time when we went to that yoga class, bro, I looked around. I was sweating so much harder than every other person there. Like I was disturbed by how hard I was sweating, because I do yoga on my own, but doing like guided in
that's
a class.
Different yoga. He was doing like workout yoga. Like I don't like that. What I did was slow flow meditative type yoga, and it was not a lot of sweat. It was very low impact. But no, I loved it.
It's cool. I think
Los, we got a guess.
yeah, we got guests. I see the energy in the room today. Steven got on his black forces, so I'm excited.
Cuz got on a lot
his
of colors.
fur, you know what I mean? Come on through.
brother.
We got a guest, work in progress podcast. We got the man. Come on through.
What's
going on?
I had to adjust here.
Brothers.
We got him. We got Trip
Bottom
in the
part, too.
building.
Nah, the bottom part. Oh yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's like our second, third?
knows?
I don't know. We can't even keep them in. You know what I'm saying? You know.
How you brothers been?
Oh, we're pretty good, man. He's unhinged over there, but it's
Yeah,
all
you missed the
good.
conversation earlier, but you might. You
can tap
might.
in.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can
Because
throw him
he
to the
married
wolves.
We
Alexa.
were talking about books and
Okay.
some of our favorite books. And one of my favorite books that helped change my life was this book called She Comes First. And it's a book about cunnilingus and the
Yeah,
art
it
of
sound
eating.
like some Zane.
Nah, the art of eating pussy. Now, it's just like a guide on how to eat pussy for real, how to really please a woman. And it really changed my life. I was already a good pussy eater, but it taught me how to take my time and eat the whole pussy.
You was
Like, it's a
rushing, you
lot
was
of
treating
different
like
parts
fast
to the
food.
pussy that you have to take. Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of. Yeah, so
that was rather interesting.
no, I'm serious. It's a good book.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Okay.
it from there. I'm gonna get it for them. So everybody, I want everybody to be.
How big is
proficient.
this book?
It's about 275 pages.
That's
That's
interesting.
a lot of pussy eating too. But for real, it'll help. It's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life
It's a
for
hell of an
sure.
instruction manual.
Yeah, now you
All
need
right,
that.
that's different.
It's a good book. I read it too. It's a good book.
Good book. We all can improve in every area, and that's one area that
Okay.
You wanted to go from good to great, is what you're saying.
amazing. Yes.
All right.
Craig, you read any books that was life changing, game changing for you?
Life changing. Probably. I don't know if that's the name of it. All them kid books that come with when you have your first kid.
Dolly Parton.
No. I don't mean child books. I mean
Parenting.
yeah, the parenting books.
Mm.
A lot of them. Early on, I thought that was like I thought you had to abide by those guides, and then I started reading more and more of them, and it made me feel more comfortable knowing that it ain't no true way to do this. You kind of got to find what works for you. Like it's a lot of those books. I don't remember any of the names of them, but early on, me being a father with no I had no frame of reference. I didn't have a father, so I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And the relationship I was in, I wasn't encouraged to learn. I was, just belittled for not knowing. Girls kind of get brought up to know how to be mothers. They start with, with baby dolls and fake bottles, fake Pampers, the babies that cry. They got like toy strollers for little girls. Little girls grow up, and when they get a certain age, most little girls start, at least for black girls, I don't know how, well, white kids too, from what I see on TV. But when they get a certain age, they start babysitting.
Right. Yeah.
Boys don't, males don't.
Yeah.
And since they don't, and we not the ones carrying the child, so the attachment is there. I don't know if I know y'all got kids. I don't know if y'all got kids.
Got 4.
I don't got no kids.
Then you know that it's your attachment changes the moment you hold that child. Every moment leading up to that, you really don't know. Not I won't say you don't know, but it's a word you used recently. Emphasize. You can't empathize because you don't know. So the woman is carrying a child, and all the attachment, all the emotions that go into that person loving a person that's being created. You don't have it because that person's not being. You see it. You see that it's building, but you're not the one carrying it. So their attachment start immediately. Your attachment don't truly start until you hold the baby.
When I held my first daughter and she looked me in the eye, I was the first person she looked at, and instantly,
But you see my point.
Yeah.
But the mother had a 9-month head start on you. In real time, like 10. But you get what I'm saying? She already had a head start. So if you didn't grow up taking care of small children, and your first child gonna be a life-changing experience. You don't know what to expect. And for me, I've been self-sufficient and independent for as long as I can remember. So me not knowing what to do made me feel like less of a man. So I had to figure it out. And, like I said, I had no father figure. So I couldn't go and say, hey, what was this like? Or, how do you maneuver through this part? I had nobody to teach me that or nobody to ask that from. So I sat in all of those, when you got to go to the pediatrician, I started picking up those books and buying those books, ordering them. And as I read them, the first book, like I said, I read the first one and I thought that this is what you're supposed to do. And I read a couple more and they all pretty much about the same thing, but they handle those things differently. So from that gave me some peace of mind to not feel like, I ain't a failure because I don't know what I'm doing. And, I read 5 or 6 books and they don't really know what they doing. Yeah. They tell you what they did, but they're not telling you what to do. So from that, if anything, I would say those were the books that changed my life. That made me feel like it made me feel like a man when I felt like I had failed.
What's some of the best piece of advice you've had on fatherhood, on parenting?
Well, my first bit of advice was the child is the easy part, it's the mother you got to deal with.
Thanks.
Well, in every fashion, my wife is present, but still, she, again, like I just said, she dealt with emotions that I didn't, I couldn't empathize with. I don't know that feeling. So, you kind of got to, as a father, I learned that a pregnant woman is supposed to be irrational. It's shit going on that I'll never experience. And even they couldn't tell you what they're dealing with. It's a whole person growing inside of this person. That's a marvel of humanity. And, I think that might have been one of the greatest things that, the child, there's room for error, if that makes sense. You got the child forever. And the mother of the child, that relationship is a relationship you truly have to maintain. And I don't mean you got to stay, y'all know firsthand, I'm not saying you got to stay with the mother, but I'm saying in order for that relationship to work, it's going to take some work. For you to be a father, in true sense, it's just going to take patience. So if anything, I would say that was some of the most important advice I got.
Being a father, y'all really got me over here thinking and pondering.
Well, what I will say is, 1, don't do it till you're ready, and 2, you'll never be ready.
Yeah, that's what I always hear. That's what I always hear.
You just gotta let
Sounds
life
like
happen.
you said don't do it.
Yeah.
My math brain says take the.
I don't know, man.
Don't do it till
It's the
won't be ready.
most wonderful piece of chaos to invest in.
That's a
That's a great way to describe that, boy.
Yeah, definitely. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
And when you think you got it figured out,
Man, what? It's over with. Start over.
It's right. All right, so you got the infant phase, and babies are like snowflakes, so no two are the same. And all the advice people gonna give you gonna be wrong as shit. So you kind of got to figure it out. All right, by the time you figure it out, they're gonna make it to like the teething stage. And then you gonna think you got it figured out. You're gonna be putting crazy shit in the freezer and shit to help them teeth and shit. And as soon as you think you got it figured out, they're gonna start moving. And when they start moving, you can baby-proof everything in the house, and they still gonna tab everything you got, and they still gonna find a way to fall and bump their heads and shit. Nothing you can do about it. And then fast forward, I'm gonna skip some phases for sake of conversation, but now I got a 20-year-old, a 16-year-old, and I got a 14-year-old girl, and a 20-year-old boy, and a 16-year-old boy. So just when I thought I had it figured out, because I dealt with the 20-year-old. The things I'm dealing with my 14-year-old daughter ain't the same. It's a whole lot different.
Yeah.
And what I'm dealing with her at 14 ain't the same as what I dealt with at 12.
Yeah.
So, every time you think you got it figured out, it's shit like the rap game. It shit just keep changing. Every time you think you got it, all right, I know what I'm doing now. No, you don't.
Yeah.
They got a wild card for you every time.
Yeah.
And, we in the era now where it's only so much your parents can help you with. I don't know how old the two of you are, but we grew up before the internet.
Yeah.
So, we know what life was like before. We know what life was like as it was building. And life now ain't nowhere remotely
near
the same. It's a
yeah.
whole nother world.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up with, we spent our time outside on bikes, in each other's yards and, playing ball in the street.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that now, especially in the climate that we in. That ain't really, it ain't so welcome. Now, you go set up a basketball goal in your front yard, and your neighbors have code enforcement out there for y'all get you ain't made 15 points yet. They already saying, hey, when your neighbor called. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When we was growing up, we was encouraged to play basketball.
Yeah.
We had neighbors that might not even speak to us, but they'll let us set our goal up, right in front of their house, because they know that's the widest part of the street. Now it ain't the same thing. Now, I know this firsthand because, man, it's the place I lived before where I live now. Man, we turned on the street one day. It was like maybe like first warm day of spring or something. We turned on the street. There was so many people outside. I'm like, where the hell all these people come from? What the hell are they doing? So I was like this out the blind. Like, who are all these people? And at some point I sat and I thought about like, damn, when I started seeing what people were really doing, they was riding bikes and like, kicking balls. So I'm like, that's what they supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's abnormal.
Right, now it shit seem weird. It
Yeah.
seem like, it's too much traffic going on.
Yeah.
These people ain't normally outside. What's going on now?
Yeah.
But that showed me, one, sometimes it ain't on purpose. You don't start feeling the disturbance. It don't feel disturbing on purpose.
Yeah.
It just feel out of the norm because that ain't usually what's going on. So, parenting is it's turbulent, if anything.
Man, don't do it if you don't have to. I tell you that.
I don't know, man. I can't.
I almost been in jail a few times.
You say you been in jail?
Almost.
Almost.
Jail, yeah.
Okay. What's your oldest?
18.
Okay.
Yeah, 18.
A girl or
Girl, I got a 10-year-old daughter in college. Got a 15-year-old
that
daughter.
explains why he's almost been in jail a few times.
Yeah, I mean, that and almost been killed a few times just beefing with, baby mamas. So it's like,
okay.
That's what
I
I'm
thought
saying.
I had it bad.
Yeah.
Nah, y'all. Y'all both throw it off. Is all I can say. You guys see his stand up.
Yeah.
His stand up is
It's
very telling.
Yeah. I lay it all out there on the stage.
Ain't really jokes.
Tell his life.
Yeah, but Los, you married though.
Yeah.
So I mean, myself included, some people go about it. You can't even say what's traditional, but the other way around, and procreate and before locking it in. 3 of y'all married. Me and Jimmy are just wild niggas, but I don't know. I don't think, like you said, it's no right or wrong. You said when you held your child, I had a moment, I think I put it on one of those songs that when I heard my daughter's heartbeat on the ultrasound, which was like 3-4 months into the process, that's like that was like a life altering, like life changing, like my whole concept of like perception of life itself changed in that moment. For sure, the first time I held it was a different level of. I thought I was about to pass out. I wasn't ready for all that I saw in that moment. Yeah. But no, the ultrasound was like, it was the gravity of it. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But not in a bad way. I just was kind of like frozen. Like, this is
like it's real.
Yeah,
it's real now.
That was when it was a reality. So it was actually like 5 months before she was out here. But when you said that, I was like, nah, I remember like vividly. I'm still like right there in the office, like what's that noise?
Yeah.
I was
Did you
going
go
down.
to all the Lamar's classes and everything?
Yeah, I went to everything.
Yeah, me too. On my first year, I went to every single last one of them.
I
and-
went to everything. That shit
Yeah,
was intense too.
we weren't in no financial shape for that kind of,
Yeah,
no Lamar's classes. I was
it was free.
Oh, well, see, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, Education, like we said sometimes, but
I don't know if that was even a resource. Well, my first child was a bit tricky as well, though. I wasn't privileged to the ultrasound, so I don't know how much more, how much more information or moments I missed it in the mix of that. So I don't really even know, but I definitely wasn't invited to no Lamar's classes.
Yeah, I did all that and ended up, we had a C-section, so it was all for nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
So, did all that. And
Yeah,
then-
my
and
first two was C-section.
My first two was C-sections as well. And my last son, that was a natural birth, and seeing that is wild. You know what
Natural
I mean?
at home or just
No,
natural?
it was
regular?
natural,
Yeah,
regular.
okay.
Yeah. It was
I thought you thugged it out.
No. We wanted to, but he came too early. But it
I
was
wouldn't dare.
beautiful though. It was beautiful. That was definitely
Yeah.
for sure.
what you got to impart on, origin story?
Parenting,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, because this is, information
for
for
those-
Los and
yeah,
people
it's-
that
it's-
have, some
I
of the rest
didn't-
of our guys and audience.
Yeah, I definitely didn't necessarily do the quote unquote traditional way. One thing that I was gonna say though was when you talk about procreating, whoever you're doing that with, that is you're choosing them to be your life partner. So I think that kind of like as you all were talking, I was thinking about like how important that choice is outside of the choice of procreating.
It
Because
definitely would have saved me some drama. Yeah, I wouldn't think about that part.
you was probably thinking about his favorite book part.
No, I wasn't even thinking about that part. I was a little more selfish than that. Yeah, that book would have just been a book in.
That book ain't for everybody, by the way. That's for special.
Well, not at that
special
moment
people.
in time.
It's
Yeah.
definitely for you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of y'all birthday or something, man. You got all these. Well, that's a hip hooray.
Well, I think I gave him his gift in a birthday bag. I was out of Christmas bags by then. But what I was gonna segue into. We can get back to it, but yeah, I got you a gift over there. I actually left Jalen's gift, one of Journey's, and one of Creed's gifts behind. I didn't have
all them
with so
gifts
many-
over there's for me.
Well,
for us?
and your tribe,
Oh,
but I
didn't
think
think-
that one right there is Craig's.
And you got handed to me.
yeah, look, give
Yeah,
it to
you
him,
gotta
man. I
get
think
it.
that's
Oh.
it.
Okay.
That's it. It might be the green one.
What you bought me another PlayStation?
It don't feel
I just
seem
bought
heavy
one
enough for that.
on the way here.
Big green one.
Yeah, the gold
That's
don't seem
Jakai's.
heavy enough.
Yeah, he can open this gift while we're here. Kind of an icebreaker.
I hope it ain't the book.
I was gonna get you one of them,
It's a
one of them
man's book,
Montclair
ain't it?
coats, but you got 8 children, and
Oh,
you
man.
know the uncle and me said, we're gonna take care of them, and we're gonna break it down in
Oh, my
a
dog.
fraction of 10,
Pivot.
and so
What's that right there?
A friend's trivia. Unfortunately, I can only.
it's a calendar.
I thought it was a trivia. Yeah, it is. a
Niggas
calendar.
don't read.
No, not even close.
Well,
I saw Pivot.
since
Oh shit.
since Friends is bro, anytime I see Friends, it's important to say that they stole that show concept from black people.
From Living Single.
Yes, I just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead.
See,
Facts.
now
Let's talk
maybe
about it.
they did, but I don't give a shit. That's one. Friends, one of them. See, I watched Living Single. That's one of the ones people refer to when they say that their friends stole the concept. Hold up, what the hell is a math book? Jesus.
I got everybody books.
Oh, Jesus. This got every character in it.
I ain't read the one for you.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel
Oh, my
encyclopedia.
Jesus.
It's
Man, listen. I like Marvel Comics. I'm not as invested as Craig thinks I am sometimes, but I fuck with this. This one probably it couldn't have been clean. His book was unhinged, so he couldn't. This clearly ain't supposed to be a clean podcast. So I never heard of it. I never heard of the Dazzler. Hold on, you got me some kicks in here.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Make sure they my size, not regular size.
Nah. I got Jalen
Oh look,
Nintendo card. You already got them?
no, I know one she told me I couldn't get when I was in the store.
Oh shit. Well,
Well, you got them now.
Yeah. That's what's up.
there it is.
And I hope you ain't get her no gift.
I did. It didn't get delivered in time. I got a few gifts in the queue.
Okay. I appreciate that, brother.
For sure.
I didn't
For
get
sure.
you any gifts.
Man,
I got your daughter some gifts.
That's all the same, man. It's all the same.
I can dig it.
We were talking about the holidays and everybody's experiences. Right before you walked in, I was like, I get more out of
Scoot close.
Other people's joys or experiences than my birthday being so close to Christmas. I'm kind of conditioned not to. I don't be expecting much. Growing up, motherfuckers always kind of probably hit me with something on the 20th and say this for both of them. So
Yeah.
And,
My mama's birthday is on the 20th of December, but she stresses that if you gonna get me 2 gifts, she ain't gonna do no damn Christmas gift and say it's for both. So, but I can understand.
You were speaking about getting joy like from giving and shit. What do y'all know? Y'all love languages? Do you know your love language?
No.
There are 5 of them.
It's
Give me
5
the 5
languages.
love languages.
you know,
I would have
words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, gifts, touch,
Time.
something about.
What's the other one?
Should know it.
What's the
Right.
5th one?
I don't know.
Affection,
Acts of-
public
no, acts of
affection,
service.
Acts of service,
Yeah,
yeah.
acts of service. Yeah.
Mine is time. That's my number one
I don't know.
love language.
What's my love language? You know? I don't know. It ain't gifts. Who? Gifts?
Yeah, most people have 2.
All the love language is how I display
Yes.
love. Oh, okay. Now what was the 5 again? The
I
gifts?
always
It's
thought it was
both.
the other way around.
It's both ways though. It's
Oh,
how you
okay.
prefer to receive or how you choose to give, but you have to
I
know
have no
what the
idea.
person likes to
Yours.
receive.
I don't know
Yours
how I
is
prefer to
cunning.
receive it. I
You
never
like time, spending time with them, quality time. Do you prefer them do things for you on your behalf that you may? It don't have to be
Not
a
just-
big thing, but just like they
Not so
think
much.
about you. What was the other ones?
You said
Physical
time.
touch, like hugs, all the physical touch. Somebody
Yeah,
physically touching
PDA
you.
and all that type of
PDA,
stuff.
Cunning.
Cunnilingus is
Well, it ain't
is-
called cunnilingus for male.
It's
called
fellatio.
fellatio.
Yeah, I'm talking about him, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I enjoy that. Enjoy that as well.
What was the other ones?
You don't make me have to put up on my phone so I quit
Acts
forgetting.
of service. Public affection.
It's quality time,
Quality time,
gifts,
yeah.
acts of service. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Pull it
know. That's
up,
crazy.
man. That's why we
y'all
ain't-
supposed to know
we
y'all
ain't-
love language.
I
bro.
know mine though.
What's your wife's love language? Y'all know
I
y'all.
know my wife's physical touch
Okay.
and
Mine's all of them shits.
PDA. yeah, really. Might as well say that.
All of
yeah.
them shits.
Even get any given day.
Yeah, every given day. I don't know mine though. That's that. I don't know. I ain't never thought about
I be
that
taking
before.
quiz. You can get online and take a quiz. I like
Quiz,
taking
yeah.
quizzes and shit.
I don't.
I'm
I
a
don't.
quiz, bro. I like
I ain't been to school in about 22 years.
been 20 years for me, but like I like to take a little quiz to see.
Yeah, I'm
to
cool
learn
on
about
them
myself.
quizzes. I ain't like them when I had to take them. I ain't taking them shits voluntarily.
Sometimes they pay you though. Like sometimes they pay you to take a quiz.
Listen, man.
What the quizzes they pay?
Listen, how
Get
much?
on
How much they
You
pay?
get online, they like $20.
How much they pay?
Get
It just
Amazon
depends, you know what I
cards,
mean? It
all kind of
varies.
different shit.
Yeah.
We gonna have to, you got. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I might be snobbish.
You need 125 or
No,
something.
fuck a 125. We gotta add some more zeros to this shit.
I found this quiz to see if I
Ain't
was.
worth my time.
I
can't
took a
do
quiz
shit with
once
it.
to see
What you
if
said?
I-
Amazon gift card.
They give you all kind of
Oh man, no, I ain't doing none of that shit.
What kind of quiz you take, Steve?
Man, it was we might get, I don't want to get us canceled, but like it's a quiz to see if I was homophobic or not. So I took the quiz and I didn't completely.
You failed.
Man, I didn't completely pass. But like I'm gonna take it again though.
Oh man, what's the other quizzes that you can take for like, like?
I'm saying you was that intrigued to be like,
because I've been called that before, and I'm like, man, hold on. So I got to Google it and said, let me see, and
they gave you a quiz.
Man, your algorithm gotta be fucked up, dude.
Right.
No, clearly I just got some work to do.
No, I ain't taking no quizzes. I'm cool.
I got a lot of free time.
What's going on?
My wife had to figure out my love language for me.
Gosh.
Y'all asked the damn question, bro.
Yeah, definitely to be loved. I guess if that's a love language, I guess.
Yeah. That's real.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the love language shit kind of overlap. I took a quiz, the love language quiz, before. I don't remember what it said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the results of it was. It was too many fucking questions. I remember that.
See,
but
2 questions is too many questions for me.
But yeah, that's funny. I mean, I think as black men, a lot of times love is probably something that we shy of. Like, we don't even probably recognize it halfway sometimes. Like, we condition sometimes, even in our professional realms, like, people showing us love and we defensive by nature. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you
it's
want.
kind of like, right, like what you trying, like what you really on, like that. So I think that trickles down into like personal lives and shit. Like, somebody too nice to me, I think that they trying to con me or trying to get over on me. Like, same with women. It's like, are you like this with everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we was talking about parenting, and I know like you do, out of all 5 of us, Lowe's, you the only one of us is not a parent. I was thinking the same thing. Like, me and Steve are the only 2 of the 5 of us that aren't married. I was gonna ask y'all the same thing. Like, you know, how did y'all know? How did y'all know that y'all wives was the one, or what was the same way we said a heartbeat or holding a child was like a moment that it's like, okay, this is what it is. I'm locked in. What was that tipping point, or what was that moment or indicator that pushed y'all in that direction?
Why are you looking at me first?
Cause you're not a parent, so you know now you got some expertise.
Yeah, I've been married 2 years.
Okay.
Almost three, May 27th. It's been a wonderful experience, you know what I'm saying?
But what made her the one? That's what the question was.
I was about to get into that. I was looking in the camera. That was the moment for the camera. I was trying to let it
know he knows his anniversary.
It's been a wonderful experience. Establishing the room.
Going for dramatic effect.
Let him cook.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So I think I knew she was the one because she kind of put up with my shit. Like, she put up with everything. So it was just kind of like, and she was there from like the beginning. She ain't really care about like none of the facade or none of the like what everybody else thought. So when I like be stunned in I be in my grandmama car, she got the rims on it. I'm pulling up at Vandy, you know what I'm saying? I'm popping out. I'm switching whips. You know what I'm saying? I do this. But when I pull up in the Lolo, she rolled and she with it. Like at the spot, she was cool at the spot. Like, so it was just so many different things. So it was just like, man, you kind of locked in with me. No, nobody else did. And we kind of got like a funny story how we started talking. We started talking through a friend. And she was going to school there. And he was just dating a girl up there. And they just connected us. They ain't together no more, but they connected us. So we'll never connect nobody else in a relationship, because I feel like that'll unconnect us, because he didn't connect the person. You know what I'm saying? Just
like, I'm picking it
you
up.
You picking it up down.
Yeah.
So, but anyway though, like I just kind of knew she was the one just based on like the stuff that she went through, stuff I went through. Like we kind of vibe like on a personal level, like nobody else. And then like when she was like going to law school, it was like a trial and tribulation kind of thing. And then when I was like going through my entrepreneurship phase, it's like a trial and tribulation phase. And so it was like we both was, you know what I'm saying, in the trenches with each other. So it's like kind of like, I feel like that'd be like I stick and glue moment. Like we done been through so much. We done been together probably like 13 years, but married like 3 or something like that. I don't know something. I don't want to be lying.
Don't
She
get in
might be.
trouble.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
something
about to
like that.
say.
You better
I
stop.
would just say longer on the longer end. You know what I'm saying? We've been together for a long time. What up, baby?
What about you, cuz?
You know, it kind of goes back to the conversation that we were starting earlier when we were talking about choosing to be a parent, like choosing your partner. For me, it was a few different conversations that she and I had. We didn't do the traditional route of getting married and having a child first. We had a child. We had a child first, then we got married, and some of that came from my experiences. Like my parents divorced when I was 2. My dad is married to his 3rd wife. Each woman that he married, he had a child with. So my high school years, I grew up in a blended household. And one of the things that was important to me was, and my mom also got married and divorced after my dad. And so I made a commitment that I was only going to get married one time. Like it's like a one-shot thing. And so after she had our first daughter, we talked about it, and we were getting pressure from family members and other people in our peer circles and peer groups about, why aren't y'all married, things like that. But for me, it was a very hard line of, I don't want to make this commitment or start this process without us knowing that we're secure, not just raising a child, but because the child is going to grow up and go to college and it's just going to be me and her. And if we don't have a relationship and it was all based on the child, then that means that at 18 it's over with, So, we talked about different things, what our goals were. I think that, a lot of it is, when you talk about like a support system, her being a support for me and vice versa. It's funny that the thing that I thought that I was doing, being noble to her, she looked at it like I wasn't choosing her. And what it was she was still in undergrad and I was in law school. And when she got pregnant, I was like, we're not going to get married, until you get your degree. And that was because of me thinking like I wanted her to be able to, achieve whatever goals she may have had before she got pregnant, and, whatever things that she wanted to accomplish, we're going to do that. This isn't going to stop that. And so she thought that it meant that I wouldn't marry her unless she had a college degree. And I was just like, well, I don't want this to interrupt your process of what your goals are for life. But, just having those types of conversations and transparent conversations made me feel comfortable with her. And, one of the things we talked about, we just decided, this is what we're going to do. And so, I proposed to her one of my daughter's, I think, second birthday, I think.
I think I was there at the pool.
Yeah, the pool party. Yeah, the pool party. Yeah.
I can dig it.
Stole under time, man.
He did.
Just happy about
Oh yeah, I did. It's funny now thinking about that because, you see on TikTok, it's so because so I proposed in 2015 because we got married in 2016, and TikTok, I think Vine was out back then. It wasn't even on TikTok probably back then, and so you see a lot of proposals and things like that. And it's like, dang, I kind of wish that I would have did something separate. But again, one of the things that occurred with my wife is on my birthday in 2013, the same year our daughter was born, her brother passed, and so I wanted it to be with family, and I knew family would be there, to support us, and that's significant for us. So that's part of the reason why we did it on our birthday party. But yeah.
What about you, Craig? How did you know? What was your indicator or moment of?
I proposed maybe 2 years after Piff Fast. Might have been a year after Piff Fast. We've been married for 3 years as well. My timelines is horrible, so don't quote me on the when I proposed and how long it was in between. I really don't know. But when Piff passed, it changed a lot of shit for me. Changed how I looked at people. It changed how much shit I would accept from people. I don't know. It made everything different. So I had less space in my life for people who wasn't for me, if that makes sense. And for the first time I can ever really remember, it made me sit back and reflect and say, if this isn't helping me, if this doesn't make me happy, then I deserve no attachment to it. And that kind of went for all relationships. So when I had known her, since 2014, I think. But whatever year this was when we started dating, before we got engaged, it was a different kind of relationship. It was more serious. It was, for the first time, I think I needed somebody, if that make any sense. All my life I thought I needed somebody, and in real time what I needed was to be comfortable with me, or I used to blur the two, loneliness and being alone, and they truly not the same thing. So when Piff passed, I think that was that showed me it's a difference, but between loneliness and being alone. And right then I learned that, well, I won't say I learned, but right then I needed to be alone. The situation I had wasn't healthy. So due to that, I needed to be alone in order for me to function, in order for me to survive it, mentally and emotionally. I needed that space to just be mine. So in a time where nobody fit into this space, she fit into the space somehow. Somehow, I'm in turmoil. I was, I don't, now, like, I don't know what cartoon that was. It's a cartoon, and most of the cartoon is in black and white until the person get happy, and then color pop up into the cartoon. My life kind of happened the same way. It wasn't no color in it. Piv death fucked me up.
Yeah.
And, or at least the two of you, it was more family turmoil happening all at the same time. So it was a heavy load. And me being man, I said, I will remember this shit. Patriarch? Is that how you said it? The male?
Patriarchal, yeah.
Yeah.
Patriarch.
I thought he
yeah.
taught me that, but I keep forgetting it. But either way, me being, the patriarch, I hold the weight for everybody. And in that moment, it wasn't no visible shoulders for me. And then, like I said, she stepped in and it was different. It went from me not wanting nobody around me and to, me not wanting nobody around me but her and my kids. And then, then small things start happening to show different things. Like for her, the child we have now was her first child. So she came in carrying the load of a stepmother. And, well, I don't know if you know, but being a step parent, being a true loving, caring step parent, it's not an easy task because you're between a rock and a hard place. You gotta love them enough for them to know you love them, and be stern enough for it to be disciplined, but you don't have the room to discipline.
Right.
And it's you want to be involved as you can be, but you don't want to overstep and step on toes by being involved. So that's a weird space for a person. And I think that was like the main thing. I saw her stand through that shit. And like I said, it's tough. That ain't an easy task in no shape, form, or fashion. And I'm going to be all the way realistic. My baby mamas was giving her hell. It was making it as difficult as they could make it. And at some point, I started feeling like maybe that's what this is. They trying to run her off. But she stood tall, and and that shit said everything. If you'll stick through that, there is no true benefit in that. Right, exactly. You got to be completely selfless to even endure that. Especially when you can just say, "Well, fuck this. I ain't got none of these are my kids. I can go on my way and live my life, outside of this, away from this." And she didn't. And I know it was some moments where she ain't, she might never admit it, but I know it was some moments where she was like, "Fuck this. I don't have to deal with this." And she stuck through it. And to see that let me know that this the person for me. And like you said a second ago, that that's the first time I picked a person to have a child with. That's the first time I said, this is what I want. Every time other than that, I was just living life. Wasn't no thought process into it. So for us, I've never proposed, and same deal like you just said. This is the only marriage for me. This not a dance. I don't plan to do a part two of it. So not to say that not only if this doesn't work, then it is what it is, but for me, this got to work. So I got to give it everything I got because it's the only one. And, you know, so be it.
All what you can, whatever.
Right.
Whatever
and, you know,
try you got to try, you going to try
yeah.
it.
And, you know, shit get turbulent. It's, you know, we only human. But I think, I mean, same deal if you take, you know better than us, but if you take being a pilot, you know, when you get on the plane with the pilot, if when it gets turbulent, he jump out that bitch with a parachute, then what kind of pilot is he? So a relationship, same deal. I'm like, you know, I'm just saying, you know, when the shit get turbulent, we gotta, you know, maneuver through it because landing is the
temporary.
important part, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's beautiful.
I love that analogy. Y'all know I love airplanes, so
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
That's my jam.
I remember when you called me and told me you was a pilot.
Steve, you take some notes over there. You gonna make some mental notes.
Ask me what? Ask me what?
Nigga, is he
You
married?
married? Did you get married when you went to Vegas that time? Because I know I called you and was like, did you elope?
Not in no Vegas.
Are you married in any other countries other than the
I'm
United
not,
States?
I'm not, but I
Okay.
do.
Oh,
But
okay.
speaking
Soul
of marriage, I do.
ties.
I'm
You about to
no.
right
About to post right here.
nigga, wow.
Told they got them black
viral.
forces on. We might not
ain't
know
know
what
what
we
was
gonna
going
I
get.
thought he was about to
Yeah.
I thought he was moving the mic and he started reaching in his pocket.
Yeah.
No,
Black
He
forces
did go
says
for his
it all.
pocket, that's
Yeah,
why.
he got them forces
I didn't know
on,
what was
like,
going on.
It's gonna be a treat.
I do want to get married. Is I think it'll happen in the very near future. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right, we're cheering for you, bro.
I appreciate
you
that.
know.
What about you?
Man, fuck all that.
Ooh, I saw.
Man, look, I will say that up until the moment I decided to propose, I ain't had no aspirations. Marriage wasn't on my list of things to do. I ain't care for it. I didn't value it. I had no, you know, like it wasn't nowhere in my cards. So I can understand, you know, his perspective, you know, when he say, you know, fuck all that. But when it happen, if it happens, it ain't gonna really, you know, it really ain't shit you can do about
When you
it.
meet somebody,
And, you know, me knowing him, I know when that, you know, when that feeling occurs in his heart, he gonna stand on it. So, you know, until it happens, then, you know, fuck all that. I can agree.
Yeah, I'll double down on the fuck out of
Yeah.
What?
I
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say
Yeah.
he said something I think is critical because no, not you. What Tripp said that's critical is that it's the value in it. Is that you know, again, like which kind of goes back to me saying I'm only doing it once. When you've witnessed your parental units go through a total of 6 together, you lose the value of it because you're doing it so much. You know, it's like, oh, it didn't work with you, I'm gonna try with you, I'm gonna do it. You know, but then when you are locked in with somebody that sees who you are as a person, sees your goals, you know, and both of you all, it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. You know, you understand the value of the marriage and being married. And like Tripp said, it definitely gets turbulent, but I think the misconception is that you get this magical feeling in your body about this individual, and then you like, I'm gonna
it's a
propose to
magical
him.
feeling, bro.
Like the
You do.
butterflies and
People-
shit.
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When you
I
in
agree.
love.
Yeah.
But
I know
but that ain't it. Yeah, I'm dead ass it.
Silly.
Because like,
But you do though.
because the thing is though is that you also like you do feel that way about the individual, but you can't live your life on a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Pause. I missed it. What y'all niggas say?
It's like when you pop an X pill. It's like,
Alright. So, but once that X
I
pill
don't
go
know
through
about
your
that one.
bloodstream, go through your bloodstream, and it's over. The feeling is past,
Yeah,
which is
still,
why
yeah,
the thing about the value of marriage, when you realize what it is to you, it's a choice that you're making every day.
Every
It's
day,
not
yeah.
a like that's what I mean by it's not this magical fucking feeling, and it's like, oh, I'm in love, I'm with this person forever. Now, like you gotta choose, just like how they put up with your shit, you gotta choose
Choose to do the same.
to give them grace when they giving you grace for shit that you don't even realize that you're doing.
True that.
And that's what I'm saying about what you said is so important. It's like when you understand the value of it, then you have a different perspective. But if you haven't experienced that, then like Tripp said, you gonna be on fuck that shit because
yeah, I'm with you. I taking from what all three of y'all shared, which I thought was like, it was heartwarming. You know, it's fit for the. I'm serious. I'm being serious now too, but nah, it was something to like carry with me. And I, like some of it I was around. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
in both of y'all weddings, literally. I just met your wife recently, Los, and it's like it's dope to hear. I can like perceive it, understand it, like hearing it directly from y'all. But like maybe that's the thing, like it ain't really just that simple to find somebody that will put up with your shit or, you know, ride it out with you through highs and lows, or, you know what I'm saying? Some people are attracted or drawn into a perception. Like you said, she was able to get through the perception and the reality, and she was the same on the other side of that. The same way, like you said, you discovered via a low point, like the difference between being alone and lonely, and to find something to cling to, or that was for you per se. Like you said, your experiences, what you saw, kind of made it like a definite thing. Even when I was joking about, you know, it being Atlanta's birthday, but like it being such a decided thing that I want to do this here, I want to do this, considering these things, like, you know, those is all unique experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all three answers were, to me, like nothing alike. You know, they may have been rooted in the same thing, and to know that y'all are like locked in, and you know what I'm saying, like it's not just a token thing. 'Cause I think that was probably one of my fears, that I'm closer to your side of it. Like if when I do that, that's gonna be the end all be all. I don't particularly like the institution of it, the formality of it is not for me. I don't want to grow old alone. I'm a realist in that sense, but I don't think a ring or a piece of paper or any of the like formal things, like they don't mean anything. Like
Well,
to me, like I mean they do. I understand it.
Well,
but
I was
like
just
that.
gonna say from a business
Yeah, I was
practical
gonna say,
side. That's
it
what I
is
was about to get
business.
to. Is that, you know,
That's how I view it more than anything.
well,
I ain't
that's
find
exactly
an
what it
adequate
is.
business
I mean, if you
partner.
want to look at it from a pragmatic standpoint, you absolutely get more tax breaks as a benefit you filing jointly than you would as an individual.
Talk to him, Shula.
Yeah, I'm not your lawyer, but I am a lawyer. But that is absolutely, you know, and that's the thing.
Well, please
like,
don't get married for the tax benefit.
nah, well, you know, if it work out for your situation, you know, but no, seriously though, you know, that is one of the components of it, is that you essentially are in a lifetime business with this person. Like, that's your partner for life. And so, yes, I get, like, and again, like, I think I had some of the same apprehensions towards the institution of marriage because of the examples that I saw, and there are not a lot of examples for black men that live that lifestyle as a married man that's faithful and happy and doing that family thing. You know, in our culture, it's normally, the nigga got a wife and a family, but then nigga got another, you know, on the other side and doing this too. And so it's never ever, it's not glorified to be somebody that stands up with integrity and does stuff like that. So until you experience it or meet somebody that you're like, damn, they stand on that. Like, okay.
That was the other thing I was gonna say. Like, although, you know, for context purposes, like we're first cousins, our dads, our brothers. So a lot of his experiences growing up, I was around for, I was aware of, but his vantage point was different than mine. On the flip side, like other than my uncle, like, and maybe one other uncle on my mom's side, I didn't know anybody that was married. You know what I'm saying? So that I had almost a very limited reference point. Almost everybody was not married and had kids, and not saying that that's like any you know, excuse or anything for how I chose to go about things or the order of them. I just didn't see. I also didn't see success stories in that space. Like, I didn't see anything as like, okay, this is the example and this is how I want to go about it. If anything, in a lot of contexts, I saw the opposite. And like you said, or people that, you know, like none of my grandparents were married, you know, like shit like that. So, I mean, there are family members as you go farther out on the family tree, but I ain't see it. I didn't have like a reference point of day-to-day examples of it. And I, you know, apart from that, I saw some unhappy marriages just, you know, journeying through life to the point where I'm like, I kind of would almost harden your heart of like, do I want to do that? Or I don't, ain't nobody else did the shit.
A lot of people was unhappily married, and it's probably more than not. And that's my fear. I don't want to be that person. You know what I mean?
Well, I think marriage is a snowflakes as well. And what most people fuck up is because you modeling your marriage against somebody else's. You think yours supposed to go this way because that's what you saw. Theirs went this way. Or vice versa. You think yours supposed to go this way because it's not what you saw. For me, for us, what worked for us is what works for us. We don't, we don't gauge it. We don't go say, well, this is what so-and-so did or this is what I saw. We really truly function off what works for us. And other people might view it and, and disagree. We just don't give a shit. That's one thing we both have in common. If you don't like it, who cares?
Yeah.
But
you
I
gotta
think
have
that's
that.
why,
Have that,
I mean,
yep.
I can only speak for my own marriage,
Yeah.
but I think that's why my marriage works is because we do what works for us.
That's real. I think when you was just talking about that, it just kind of brought up something from therapy. We was in marriage therapy, and they was like, man, do you got any relationship that you would want to model your marriage after? And we was in there like, man, we was thinking, we was like, man, yeah, we did it as homework. And as we was doing it as homework, the couple that we was modeling after, they got a divorce. And we were just like, dang,
Like
like
got a divorce while you was doing it.
yeah.
Damn.
And so we were just like, man, this is somebody
but that show you
yeah.
that one, none of this shit's perfect.
Nope.
Nothing's guaranteed. But two, you gotta make the shit work for you. That's to me, that would be the same as going in your house and then saying, you know what? This how I'm gonna model I'm gonna do everything you did in your house for my house. My household is a little different. In your house, you got two.
Mm-hmm.
In your house, you got one. My house, I got 7 moving around. So what's, comfortable or ergonomic or user friendly for him don't work for me. Like in his house, he got that microwave shit where it's in the island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In my house, that shit have been broke in a week.
Yeah, that's real.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Nah,
me
we ain't
trying to
doing that,
model my
cuz.
shit after his shit, that's what work in his house. That's what works for them. That don't work for us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he can say the same because his relationship is an interracial relationship. So his marriage and my marriage are not the same even in that aspect. It's a lot more come with how he has to function and vice versa. For me, same deal. Shit ain't shaped the same. I say that to say he's happily married and I'm happily married. I want to assume he's happily married. And like you said, they 3 different scenarios. They happen 3 different ways and they function 3 different ways. And if our 3 marriages function 3 different ways, that says there's space for it to happen for you. I'm not saying go out and look for it on fucking letsgetmarried.com. But I just think that you have to be in the space for it to happen.
Yeah.
If it ain't happened yet, then so be it. And I know people, he ain't married, I don't treat him no differently. I still love him the same. And that ain't the only way to be happy. If if he's not married and he's happy, then I'm happy for him. If he's not happy, then I want to see him happy. And if not being married is how he stay happy, then so be it. Because that's his life. It's got to work for him. It ain't got to work for me. My job, my duty is to be supportive of whatever it is that does make him happy. And, help in any way I can help. But, that, when it comes to the marriage, I think closing your mind to it is probably your hang up. Because you're looking at it like, nah, I can't do this. Man, in real time, I mean, look at the shit we do now. We do content. 5 years ago, we both would have said, hell no, I'm not doing this. No, get this fucking camera out of my face. But, now that we've dived into it, now that we've opened our minds to it, we're a lot more comfortable with it than we thought we'd be, right? Marriage. And I'm not saying marriage and content is the same thing. No, I'm just saying that certain moments in life, you kind of just gotta let happen and not seek it out, if that makes sense. I'm sure he wasn't running around saying, man, I'm gonna get married. Let me see who I'm gonna marry. And say, oh, there we go, Nat, let's go. Same deal for him. That's not how it happened. Some happen, and I don't really believe in like the stars aligning and shit, but in a sense, that's kind of what happened. It's something, it was a
stars align.
A magical coincidence.
And all that.
It happened.
I believe in soulmate and all that type of shit. I believe in that.
I wish you will.
No, I found it, so I believe in that for sure.
Now I can dig it.
But when you get ready to jump the broom or whatever the traditional thing you're gonna do, I'm like 4 for 4. The weddings I'm in that I've been in my adult life, everybody's, they got sustainable marriages.
You the contributing factor.
Clearly.
Bet.
That y'all
The
too.
sustainer.
Yeah,
The
got you.
sustainer.
Oh man.
Paper, Hassan,
The
like,
wedding
I was trying to
sustainer.
figure the other two weddings.
yeah,
All
man.
right.
I mean,
Okay.
everybody holding it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what's
I'm just
up.
telling you.
That's
know
the
what I'm
most selfish shit I heard all night.
Nah, bro, I'm trying to. I'm the glue.
Like the glue.
Oh
I'm the glue
my
guy.
God.
Draymond Green for the
Man.
team.
Okay.
I don't know though how that works.
So yeah, wow. All right, so look, how often do y'all get to do this? Like just sit
What's
down,
this?
chop it up, like just you know what I'm saying,
With each
around
other?
You mean us?
Yeah, with each other or just in general?
Man,
amongst-
most of the time people want us to talk rap. You know what I'm saying? It's been very
Yeah.
rare that, like, platform wise. I mean, we were doing it in a professional space. I think 520 was one of the first times where it was a casual conversation, just like guy talk, chopping it up, and it didn't feel pressure sensitive. They asked things because they fuck with our music.
Right.
But more times than not, it's so rigid, and it's like, so when you did this, and so like for this and what we trying to build here, I wanted it to just be healthy, open conversation, like on like life level, because even the work in progress ideas, like everyone should be working on themselves, and everyone should. The people I care about, especially, to be on some progressive, level of thinking. We talk like this, so we talk about practical shit, like in between every meeting or sitting, when we're around each other. We don't, unless it's the business or what we're doing, because we business partners, obviously, in one sense, we talk about regular shit. That's like all those gifts for the kids is because, like, he told me they sizes and interests, like, you know what I'm saying, is we talk about life shit. Like, we ain't talking about, what's the name album that dropped and comparing and contrasting and shit like that.
Sometimes we talk about people album that drop, but those are always short conversations because I don't know what I'm not listening.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he might have heard so and so album that dropped, and
Did you hear it? You like
no, I ain't got around to it, and it ain't gonna happen no time soon. Whoever the so and so is, but like you said though, our relationship ain't. It started from music, but music wasn't truly the foundation of the relationship, if that makes any sense. When we met, we was both rapping. We was, in two different points in our careers. And even then, even early on, most of our conversations had nothing to do with rap. We somehow, and we didn't plan it. We didn't sit, even though the tape said, did we just become best friends? We sit down and plan that out. That shit just happened how it happened. And at some point, at some point I met and got to know and grew a bond with his family and the people around him. And the exact same thing happened, vice versa. But again, it wasn't like we sat down and said, this is what's going to happen. That shit just happened how it happened. And, with that, we have all kinds of conversations. When the microphones is off, he's Jermaine and I'm Chris. We don't call each other that, but,
Greg.
right. But that's what I'm saying. Our relationship isn't. We don't gotta ever do another song together, and our bond will still be what it is. That's still my brother, no matter what. So we have the conversations, and I think that's also. I want to say we met at a point in time. At least for me, we met at a point in time where I needed to see or needed to. I needed to witness somebody else dealing with it or seeing. You grow up with the people you grow up with. You seen, you know their stories. You know how you relate. And, in some cases, you can tell me what you went through, but I was there. I saw it for myself. And in most cases, no way for me to look at it from your perspective because I was present. So meeting them, getting to know each other gave me the space to, I guess, the true beauty of getting to know a stranger, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't a typical thing. It wasn't, I know how you grew up. I know everything about you kind of thing. It was a true, it truly was a, we've been around each other in so many different instances that it became, it turned into like research on accident, if this is a
for
thing.
sure.
Like, I seen the happy moments, I seen the sad moments, I seen the erratic moments, and vice versa, seen the same thing. But like I said, it wasn't planned. So with it happening, we got to know more about each other. And I think it happened because, again, I can only speak for me, but I think it was because I was in a space where I needed to see that, or I needed to meet somebody that wasn't from next door, or wasn't from down the street. And it showed me, well, before you say what you're about to say, it showed me that in some cases our worlds are the same, even though they pretty different. And a lot of that, when I first met him, I thought he was a rapper. So I was prepared to meet the rapper, and the rapper be rapper man all day. And after we do whatever we can do, we weren't going to rock. Right. I wasn't expecting to meet him a second time or see him a second time.
Yeah.
So, the relationship truly was organic.
Did y'all meet here or in Memphis?
In Nashville.
Yeah, I think I was before you said the last part. I was gonna say I think it was like the humanity part of it, like meeting a human and not just a rapper. Cause I mean, even when we met, it was a bunch of other rappers in the midst of it. You know what I'm saying? It was another rapper that brought us around each other, and other rappers on the road.
There was rappers in the room.
Yeah, for sure. And people trying to become rappers.
Yeah, true that.
Pay what they weigh to try to get in the game.
True that.
As well. It was at his house, matter of fact, around the same time. But it was like, people going through things that kind of supersede what we trying to do as like a career path. So the life shit kind of took the lead. It's documented. He was going through his custody stuff in real time. I was going through street shit, beef shit. Otherwise, like my closest friends and peers was all going to jail back to back, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm in and out of trouble, and all of this is like happening at the same time that we meet. Like I'm having a career. I'm a professional rapper, but it was almost secondary to the life shit. The same thing. Like he's breaking through with rap, but it's in the midst of like personal chaos and turmoil. So without us even knowing each other, it was almost like a perfect storm of all that shit that like, and obviously like the music being fired like and along the way, but that forged a bond. Cause like I said, the music shit was almost like secondary. Cause even through all the other parties and how we met, as some of that shit kind of grew distant and like we, grew closer as peers. And the first project wasn't for a commercial gain kind of thing. It was just something we just wanted to do and just did, like in spite of everything around us. And when the shit worked, then we doubled down, tighten up, try to make it work professionally and otherwise. And we even ran into some challenges and obstacles with that. You know what I'm saying? The second project, metrics wise, may be the biggest out of the series. But we ain't make no fucking money, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like bad business and shit like that. And that didn't break us, you know what I'm saying? That didn't affect our working relationship, personal relationship, or otherwise. We just kept pushing. Right, we got smarter, we got, closer for what it was worth. And then, a lot of, like you said, seeing the highs and lows, like real time, it's kind of like it don't really make sense for us to rock no other way than the way that we do. And so the original question, like, we end up having these kind of conversations just because it ain't no surface level or superficial conversations to have. Like we joke with each other, joke on each other because we know each other well enough to like we don't really step on toes or certain like we close enough to know what them boundaries are. Like I don't have siblings. Like so I read something today. It was like a meme or something. It was like when you joking with your brother, go too far. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't necessarily. I probably had the experience like with close cousins and shit, but like
same.
our journeys to arrive in each other's like presence and lives, even professionally, just overlap with whatever the fuck was going on outside of this shit too. Where it's like it's just kind of like a merger of it all, and I think it spilled over into the music because I think our music has gotten more mature, it's got more like grounded, and you know, because it's just kind of how we be on it. It's like what you see is what you get. So it's refreshing to not be on the other side of cameras and you know people asking you the cookie cutter shit. I mean, sometimes we get asked interesting shit and good questions, and we have some good sit downs and interviews. But a lot of them is like the same shit over and over. It's like, man, you could have just took the footage from that other thing and
Did it from
You
that.
just
put
clipped it
yourself
up.
in there
Yeah.
with us,
Yeah.
and it been the same
Just
fucking thing.
Cliff notes.
Yeah,
It's Spark
exactly,
notes. What we was
exactly.
talking about. So I got a few more questions. You talked about the trials and tribulations. I'm gonna get into that about like Step Brothers because I feel like what y'all navigated something like especially during a time frame where music was like changing, and I feel like y'all navigated it real well, and in a sense came out on top outside of a lot of other artists or things that we seen like they may have faded away or even the series aspects of things. Like what were like other trials and tribulations that y'all faced that kind of like I'm sure people told y'all like y'all said I've heard y'all talk about like not wanting to be a group that y'all shouldn't be a group, them telling you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Like what was some of the other things that y'all faced and like what really was the like I think y'all kind of talked about it a little bit, the turning point of like this shit gonna work.
I don't know. For me, I never entertained the idea or the scenario where it wouldn't work. I never looked at it in that way. I never sat and said this is working or it's going to work or it ain't going to work or it's not working. I don't even think about it in that fashion. I'm sure this is like what was it, a pet peeve for other people, or regarding me, but I only know how to do what I feel like doing, and the Step Brothers thing. If it wasn't an actual relationship, then I don't think we would have made it a two. Let alone, I don't think we would have got that far with it. The reason that worked is because of the bond. Like you said a second ago, the music became secondary. It just became the thing we do. Almost like like now people get on the game and they game together. They do the shit's called
Stream
Call of Duty
parts.
stream, Twitch.
well, that shit,
Yeah.
the with Pro Am, all that kind of shit. Like people be dedicated to link together and play the game.
Yeah.
Music was that for us. Everything outside of that, it almost feels like we would have been around each other whether we was making that music or not. So that shit just came natural.
What and with the boundary piece, we talked about it. The with the original, the first project, like the resistance from like Cool and Dre or whoever that didn't think it was a good idea. And one thing about it, they wasn't talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they were in business with him, so I wasn't even privy to them conversations, and he ain't share it with me in real time because he didn't give a fuck.
No,
Like they wasn't talking to me, so it wasn't nothing for me to consider. And like, cause up to that point when they inserted them opinions, we had already decided it was a great fucking idea. And so like him being that headstrong, or maybe you could even say stubborn or not giving a fuck, was like, well, okay, cool, we're gonna do it anyway. The second project I can remember before the bad business or us not getting, compensated in real time or like appropriately, I can remember that though it was a different, third party that I dropped Cold Turkey right before it, and I was already.
I just gotta agree with you. I don't know.
And well, I was already. I turned in Fried Turkey right before we went on tour, and right before we dropped Step Brothers 2.
Okay.
And I remember them, that third party being very adamant, like you don't need to drop that other project on Thanksgiving because we dropped Step Brothers 2 like mid-October. And so it was like 6 weeks later or something like that. and they were so against it, like you're gonna kill the momentum of what we're doing here, and it was almost polar opposite of like the Cool and Dre thing. I'm looking like, if he don't care, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? If he don't feel like, cause we're in this together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though we was
I
working
remember
with,
us having that conversation.
and it was like, shit, we going on tour the day the album drops. The tour will be over. Not to say we won't, we shot like 5 videos. We did everything we were supposed to do to push that project, including touring half the country. But like, nobody had to do that shit but us.
Mm.
And I'm like, if he don't feel no type of way about me dropping a fucking solo project, because one, we kind of subscribe to what you eat don't make me shit kind of thing. But over the last 15 years, I think we've proven the strength in numbers aspect, or like we benefit from each other's progress or success or whatever else. And we truly in support. So I'm like, when they said, I was like, okay, word, bet. Like, cause one of them had, just like that first conversation didn't come on my radar. I'm like, this really ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I hear you.
Yeah.
But your advice is self-serving. If he don't care, I don't care what anybody else think. And then fast forward, moving forward, you was talking about obstacles. There's a lot of personal things like that we endured, experienced, witnessed, for one another, like going into Step Brothers 3 and beyond. But between that time, there was a time when he dropped a shit load of music, and you know what I'm saying, I was phasing myself out of putting out music, and you know what I'm saying, he had a spark. On the flip side, I was like, good, because I didn't feel like, in the beginning, I didn't really feel like doing it, and I'm like, he's keeping what we got going alive, because I do kind of live vicariously through like his successes. You know what I'm saying? It was a time when I was putting out more, like the Step Brothers 2 time. It was like he was coming out of the deal and trying to figure it out and find his footing, and I was finding mine. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna appease this third party, because I don't feel like it does a disservice to him. He was on, damn it, other than the Fried Turkey project, which was intentional, he's been on every one of my other projects. So it's like when he turned it up a notch, it was kind of like, cool. That run helped bring me out of a low point, a dark space, and otherwise, and I never felt like, oh, man, hold on, you're doing too much. It's like, it was all of it was like asset building, like overall, and the success of what he did laid the foundation for maybe the Step Brothers 3. On a like business side, like performed well and everything was on the up and up, but like, he laid a foundation for like another level, a level up, like infrastructure wise, and I mean, I think people could see like what we've been able to do the last 6 or so months, and it just speaks to like the ebbs and flow of like true like partnership in this shit. Like, you strengthen each other's weaknesses and otherwise, and that makes it like, even I'm detailing and I'm giving you a timeline of it, but where that shit still becomes an afterthought. If it was times when I won't even call it lagging, because it probably was some reasoning behind it, was some other shit not meeting the eye for the public. But if he was ever, moving at his own pace, I may hit the gas and I'm accelerating and we gonna catch up. You know what I'm saying? However, and vice versa. If I'm decelerating, I'm slowing down, I'm out of it, and he takes off, like at some point I'm gonna catch up.
Switching drivers.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of how I view like them obstacles. Like, a lot of things we had to, endure just at like on the brotherhood level. Like, shit, I'm here. It might not be much I can do or say, but I'm here, and vice versa. And so like when shit comes back around, like, just kind of about staying the same.
Iron sharper iron, 2 better than 1.
For sure.
True that.
So what's up? Y'all gonna give me the flow for my next question? Okay, cool. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
you got it.
Y'all real, man. Y'all real. I got another question after that. Then I'm gonna keep going now. But so you talked about being in a shoot. You said something about coming to a shoot house. Y'all meeting there for the first time. Did you ever come to like Nashville outside of that? Like beforehand? Did you ever, you know what I'm saying, dibble and dabble up here?
No, I had never been to Nashville. I've probably only ever been up here twice, maybe 3 times that didn't involve, or I didn't see him, or didn't. I can't think of no time where I didn't call, but I ain't never. I travel for a living, and that's it. I don't find leisure in it. I don't find joy in it.
You don't go on vacations?
Nah, I don't need no vacations.
You don't like beaches, you don't like water
Nah, I
and
don't like
waves?
beaches. I do like water. I can't survive without it. That's not joy to me.
What do you do for fun, like outside of rap and playing with the children and
That's
your
the
wife?
joy, not the rap part.
He likes to build. He likes to build.
Yeah, and I build guns.
You play Call of Duty, anything?
I probably ain't played in about a year. Not faithfully.
Mm.
But that's what I'm saying. Those are just the hobbies when I don't want to be an idle mind. I find joy in. I mean, it might sound crazy shit, but I find joy in being able to walk in my own kitchen, or my kids being able to lay in their own beds, or wake up and we play board games, or my wife cooked breakfast for 20 fucking people. It ain't really 20, but
Feel
it
like
feel
that.
like it. Yeah, definitely. But I find joy in that shit. I find joy in knowing that no matter what, I have somewhere. I got a roof over my head, and even though most of my kids ain't with me full time, they still got a roof over theirs. They not with me full time. They still got their rooms. They still got their beds. No one sleeps in their beds other than them. I don't know. Being able to not have to ask anybody to help me with them. And helping in real life is a different thing. But that's what I got a wife for. Outside of that, I don't know. I find joy in being able to, live at my own volition, if that makes sense. It might sound boring as shit.
Nice, it's simple. It's
But
simple. Like,
yeah, that's the joy for me. He can tell you, we go do them shows and it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you could for yourself.
Yeah.
When that show over with though, where am I? I'm getting I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm going home. I don't care what else we doing. None of that shit's fun to me. Not I don't. If it's fun for you, then have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that go back to, like I said earlier, you got to do what work for you, and what work for me is going home. Because that's what's fun to me. When I walk in the house and and my kids welcome me in when I get there. Shit, sometimes I walk in and they just look at me and keep moving. But being able to have my own home, like, I come from not having much. So, all the fruits of my labor are under this roof. So that's the joy for me. And knowing that I built it, and when I want something more, I buckle down and I do what I got to do to accumulate more. When I got too much, I just give it away. But either way, I'm just saying that's the joy for me, not vacationing and trap. But that's joy for them. So, we take trips and we go out of town and shit, but it's not for me. I don't, they call me a party pooper. With my kids don't call me that, but the adults that I know call me that because I just don't party. But when we go out to theme parks and shit, I don't ride roller coasters.
You don't do roller coasters?
I ain't saying no. We ain't doing that.
On a roller coaster.
We ain't doing that.
With you on that one, bro.
But I'm gonna spend way too much money playing all them games that it's fucking impossible to win. I'm gonna spend way too much money in the gift shops. Way too much money on the fucking on all them wristbands so they can skip lines and shit. On the way there, they say they're gonna ride every ride. We get there, they only ride 3. My wife's only going for the food, but so be it. They having fun, that's fun for me. But other than that, the initial question was, have I come to Nashville? And it's just another place for me.
Yeah.
It's different than other places because I got family here.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just another place. If I could sit at home and make as much money as I make, I'd never walk out the door.
That's real. You said earlier we was talking about music. You talking about albums? Bro, send you some albums to listen
don't
to.
send them to me.
Well,
I
know
ask you.
better.
He asked you, did you listen to? So since you really don't listen to nothing outside of yourself,
No, I don't listen to myself.
so what do you listen to?
I just don't listen to rap music.
All right, what if it's
I listen to more R&B music, not because I like singing or no shit.
Yeah,
Like singing though.
Sometimes,
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it.
but for me, R&B. Now I can't listen to everything.
Yeah.
So if you went through my playlist, is maybe 500 songs. Out of those songs, it might be 100 songs from like the last 5 years, maybe. But I can only listen to the music that I feel. It's gotta.
Who's
I don't
your
know.
favorite
It's-
R&B
I
artist?
I DJ. I need somebody I can put in
My
rotation.
favorite R&B artist would have to be Jhené Aiko. I like
I just did a Jhené
probably
Aiko
like
thing.
95% of her
did this
catalog.
weekend.
Did
Yoga
something this
event.
weekend.
A themed event.
It was a yoga event with Jhené Aiko music the whole time. So
Jhené Aiko.
my bad. How you say it?
Aiko.
Aiko. Okay. Yeah. He
Get
know.
it right.
You know. Yeah. But nah, that's just,
Pay the
I'm-
price.
Yeah, I was doing that little shit with the
I wasn't
Bo-
Nah,
doing
the
it.
sound.
Yeah.
I do want to
I
do
ain't
that.
know
with
what
us,
we gonna
though.
do
I
one.
want-
We gonna do one.
Okay.
You gonna come to that? You gonna come to the
Yeah,
sound
we
bar?
got
You gonna
activities.
do it?
We doing activities.
You
We
gotta
gonna
come to one of our
We're
activities.
doing
man.
on location
On
activities.
location,
outside of just
yoga,
sit down.
Pilates, yeah, I mean, come
sound
to-
ball,
sound
rock
fun.
climbing,
paintballing,
Paintballing.
Yeah, come-
Yeah.
paintball.
Yeah, you
you
want to
can
fuck
do
with the
that.
paintball?
Come on,
Like just
Craig,
as much as you like
gonna
to shoot
Craig.
guns. You don't want to get shot.
Have you ever? I've been hit with a paintball. See, that shit's like boxing. Everybody, I'm gonna punch the shit out of somebody. You
Until you
factor
get
out
punched.
the part about getting punched.
It hurt.
Yeah, paintball hitting me ain't what I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I got a
Fuck what you
question.
talking about.
I got a question. I got a legit question. Did y'all save me some chicken?
I did. Kind of sort of. Now, see, I didn't. I ain't fully finished my meal, so it depends. 'Cause
I added something to the order. That's why I said that. I was.
yeah,
I saw
well,
you was going in.
I had.
I smelled it when it
I
came
had-
through the door.
I'm just hoping y'all got some kind of way for me to warm that shit up.
Shout out to it's a microwave out of the
there we
studio
go.
part, but
Yeah,
shout out
see?
to Coco. Coco's hot chicken. with
True
the-
that. True that. She saved me every time. My wife don't like Princes, so one
we
thing.
gotta scratch that.
Yeah,
Working on the sponsors.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Princes. I love it enough for my wife and everybody's wife that's watching this show. But
Two vegan brothers over there.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I'm not talking. I said everybody's wife that's watching.
Oh, okay.
I love Princes
Wife
enough.
vegan
No,
too.
enough for them too though, because they ain't gonna
They
eat
ain't
it.
gonna
They
eat
ain't
it.
gonna
We
eat
gonna
it.
have to
So
eat on
they-
their behalf.
Y'all and y'all counterparts are vegan.
I'm only eating pussy if it's vegan. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plant,
All right.
Yes, sir.
plant
Yeah,
power.
So yeah, well, I guess I love Princess Chicken enough for to cover the two of them as well. That's
Wow.
okay.
Hey, it's been a wild episode. Oh man, I don't even know where to start or where to end.
Man, well, like you know, our podcast is called Work in Progress. What are some things that you want to work on since we're about to go into the new year? Do you have any goals that you set for yourself?
Spend less, save more. I didn't really got nothing other than that. Everything else, I think. I mean, you know me firsthand, so
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm in a space and I feel like it's something ain't right or ain't adding up, or or my method or formula ain't productive, I'm I'm an on-site fixer. We gotta course correct this shit right here, right now. I ain't gonna wait till it, snowball and become something bigger. So I don't really look at it like that. When I step back and assess my situation or my life, whenever I see the error, I do everything I can do to start fixing it immediately. And I want to believe that I'm an approachable enough person for the people around me to check me on, the shit that I can't recognize on my own, the shit I can't see internally. So, when that happens, same deal. You know, if you feel like X, Y, and Z, and I can see your point of view with it, then even that, you know, I try to course correct right there. And even when it comes to like relationships with people, a lot of cases, when I used to turn the other cheek a lot for the sake of holding up, maintaining relationships. But I experienced a lot of shit, you know, within like the last 5 years, that I stopped doing that so much. I don't. I got a brother that say Fitz say holding grudges is you know, it's cancerous, and I understand his point of view. I don't think what I do is considered holding a grudge, because it's not the same. Like, you know, when me and whoever go separate ways, whatever the infraction was, I never forget or forgive the infraction. But I don't do the you know, I don't hate nobody, ain't no turmoil.
You're not dwelling on it.
Right, I'm not beefing with you.
Yeah.
But you don't get a second shot. We ain't doing that. We ain't gonna pretend like whatever happened ain't happened.
Right.
So in that sense, you know, I ain't forgiving it or forgetting it. You know, you gonna go your way, I'm gonna go mine. And if anything, I think I've become more of that as of late. But again, going back to, like you said, you know, the things that are a work in progress. Right now, what I want to do is just save more money and time, really. I think I spent a lot of time doing, I think I spend more time doing what suits me than it's healthy, if that I mean, I think it was necessary for it to happen.
For you to get to where you are now.
Right, because, like, I mean, I don't want to go too far into it. You know, y'all just happen to be people I truly know. So you know the things I've been through. And in order to make it to the other side of it, I had to be about me, because otherwise it wouldn't happen. But I think, just like all things, sometimes you develop a habit, and for you know it, you overdo it now. And I think in some cases I may have overdone it, and you know, I can acknowledge it, I can see it myself. So those kind of things I want to, like I said, I want to spend less and save more. Same deal. I want to spend less time on me and more time with, you know, the people that I truly do love, and less time trying to be a Band-Aid to relationships that are one-sided. If it don't truly suit me, then it ain't for me. And I can finally make my peace with saying, maybe the best thing for us is separation. So, you know.
It's interesting how you gave the characterized time, you know, like currency, you know, because we all have a certain finite amount of currency of time. We don't know it.
Yeah.
You know.
True that.
And when you talk about spending it and saving time and things like that, it's a great way to look at it going into the new year.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, you know,
money, and we gotta. I thought
We gotta
that was
get-
out there. We gotta go shoot this video.
Now we gotta get up
That
out of here,
too.
man. I'm gonna be working on new content for Work in Progress podcast. Make sure you following us. What you working on?
Healing my inner child.
Yeah, we gonna talk about
We'll
that
talk
in the
about
next
that
one, because
next
we
time,
went
yeah.
from the art of to the inner child.
He's just going through all the
I can
emotions.
dig it.
Right, he going through all the emotions.
Like,
Them bushes.
Yeah.
He gotta heal
he
from
got
that
all
shit.
kind of emotions. That's my
Okay.
boy, man.
I'm with you, bro.
What you doing?
What you working on, cuz?
Shit, decluttering my house and
Why you pointing at me?
what somebody
You
said.
asked the question earlier, I think.
Well, somebody said something about
Nah,
the
that's-
feng
that's
shui.
it.
shit.
Oh,
Okay, my
yeah,
bad.
that
It was
was
so
it.
somebody was talking
Boss
about
ain't
the.
dirty.
Yeah, my bad. It was he
It's
said
cool,
it, but
bro.
y'all was talking about the feng shui and the Japanese lady and shit or something.
Yeah.
But decluttering my house is like my next like
That's real.
passion project. I'm trying to
I need to do that myself.
That's real.
I'm trying to
No
make
shit.
it more conducive to creativity, because when he was talking about like your dwelling, just being your happy place
Yeah,
and just getting
that's
back
dope.
home. Like we just did 20 cities together. Like getting back home a lot of times was like the thrill of it all. You know what I'm saying? We might have hit 3 states in a weekend, but it's no feeling like, whoo, I made it. Because, I mean, we didn't run into any like volatile like dangers, but just traveling, you know what I'm saying? You can't take for granted like just making it home. And as my daughter's growing like rapidly and maturing and changing and her interests are shifting, I want my space to be like conducive to all of that, and for myself, like I'm aiming at to just productivity to just go through the roof and continue trending the direction it has been. The beginning of this year, the first project that I recorded, I did it entirely at the crib, almost the entire thing. And that was comfortable for me. Like that was what worked. After that, I made it a point to get out of the house, and because the next thing I worked on was in tandem. Well, the mixtape that I worked on with Kevin in Florida, and then we locked in on what we were doing. And I don't think I've cut on my computer at the crib in like 6 months, probably. Like I don't think I recorded a song in my house in the last 6 months. And I think it's because I've been just collecting stuff. You know, we on the road, we moving, we shopping, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, I'm spending the least amount of time at the crib. So now that we off the road, which I hope to get back on the road sooner than later, I want to declutter, kind of hard reset, and cultivate like my space to be the best, you know what I'm saying, version of like myself, and for my loved ones, not just the one that does live with me, but for it to be a more inviting space for a company and all of that, because sometimes we can like bury ourselves in our own like shit, like junk. I mean, or
less is more. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Says more.
So that's my.
Did I let to say? Nah, y'all. It's Work in Progress podcast. Make sure you following us. Make sure you subscribe on all social media platforms. If you watching this right now,
He didn't say what he was working on.
oh damn, shoot! You talked for about 5 hours.
That's cool.
I was gonna try to slide out with it, because I was sitting there thinking like, man, what am I gonna work on that I'm gonna do? Because that's my big problem is that I got a few things that I want to work on, but then it's like, the work that comes behind it is gonna be tough. But I think one thing I definitely gonna do, cuz got me started on it probably a year ago this time, we was doing the 75 hard challenge. I sent to everybody in the group chat, and all y'all niggas ignored me. But
sent something to me in the group
nah,
chat.
not you. To them.
I said that's why I ignored you.
But nah, so I want to do, be active, some type of workout once a day. Simple. One thing I was thinking about doing was trying to take a walk without my phone. That's real. To just kind of have some solace to it, and then at the end of the walk, write down some things that I'm grateful for, like do a gratitude journal, attitude of gratitude.
That's dope. I feel like y'all got some really like progressive, some really great stuff y'all working on, man. I'm looking forward to catching up with y'all on the next pod.
On the next one. Progress report.
Check in, progress report. That's what I'm telling y'all right here, right now. Like I said before, I cut off. Shoot, I'm sorry. But this is the Work in Progress podcast. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in, tap in, put the W's in the chat, WNP in the chat. But then also let us know what you're working on right now. We want to also hold you accountable out there in the universe. And make sure you're working on something. Make sure you're making progress, because this is the Work in Progress podcast. I'm Loso.
Jimmy.
I'm Shoot.
Jermaine Eric.
I guess.
I'm Craig.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.